Mm, mm, mm. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Jordan, how's it going? It's Nish. What's happening? Brian, how you doing? Nick, afternoon. King, salute. No one can look like a badass sipping a straw. Like it's impossible. It is. Just doesn't work. Mm. Just a random something I noticed. You just can't. Mm. Man, this is well, I don't know what I'm gonna call her yet. Um, honestly, I have no clue. Maybe you guys can help me out with that. Obviously, I got something for peas. Penny and Pearl, but I did a light, extremely light seasoning last night. I do multiple seasonings, and I want to give you guys a little bit of advice and tips. I do a light coat, then a medium, then a heavy, and a trick that I use when I'm firing up new smokers is I'll make tallow out of it, beef tallow, and as that's rendering out, I'll use it to coat the grates as well. It's layers of flavor in here, and I love seasoning a smoker because you only get to do a brand new seasoning on the smoker once. Once it's done, once you've imparted it, it's sort of in there. You can re-season, but this first one really means a lot. So open up this firebox, yeah? Woo. First off, shout out to Branson, Gray, Tyler, Ross, Paul, all the cats in the shop, man. This is a beast. I guess you guys maybe want the once over, yeah? Give you the nickel and dime. Let's do that before we light it up one more time. Because if you guys caught the live last night, it was dark, but you can still see it. Holy cow, there's more. Yeah, so here we go. Everything's been lightly coated, and you can sort of see the difference if you've ever seen a bare smoker before versus a seasoned smoker. Everything slowly gets a little darker and darker and glossy and shinier. So this is the warming box, which also doubles as a vertical smoker because of where my firebox is. And I don't know if you can see, but that lip right there and that stem, that's the dam that I can pull and convert this portion into a vertical firebox. And this is an insulated firebox. So yes, you can have an insulated firebox with a dampener system and turn your rig into a vertical smoker. So that's that there. Coated, seasoned. This is the back end. My wood box right here. This is what we're going to be using this season. I'm going to test and see just how well I designed it because it should run really well. I shouldn't have to use all of this. This is my San Maria right here. Lightly seasoned this. I'm going to be probably cook up some burgers and some whole chicken and some wings today to get this nicely set. This back portion here. Entrance opening to the Santa Maria. My coals here. Ash pan that slides out. Coal bed fully slides out and attaches. Main cook chamber. I've got 3 shelves, but 5 slots. So I can't actually fit a hog on here. So back go all the way out, and it's a hip roof, which gives me 4 more inches of airflow up top. Beautiful rig. Everything out, cast. You guys can see a little bit still in the fingers there. It's going. Made by these amazing guys here. Pride and joy. Of course, this amazing stainless steel shelf, but look at these monstrous tires. There's a clean tip. yeah, this is my baby. Let's get her fired up, yeah? Thank you, thank you. Put a lot of work into the design. Um, a lot of work into the design. I'm very happy with how everything turned out. This is my Sear Grate. So this is right above my firebox. So what I wanted to have this for was so when I'm doing steaks, when I'm slow smoking my steaks in the main cook chamber, I could quickly pull this out and drop the steaks on to get that hard sear extremely quickly. I wanted to think, how can I utilize all the heat in the best ways possible, right? I already have the firebox running because I'm smoking stuff in there. Toss the steak, take it out. This should be plenty hot. Toss it on, quick sear, done. Little things like that really go a long way, and you come across it the more and more you cook. So, right on. So, this is the real secret to how I season my smokers. If you've ever trimmed a brisket, you know that you've trimmed off like 20% fat, right? That you typically can't use. Well, stop tossing it. I'm gonna put you guys in a little bit of advice here. Keep it. Keep all of it. Sprinkle with a little salt. Put it in your smoker next time you're doing a cook, and let this fat render down. Put it on the hottest portion of your smoker. Whatever, if you've got a hot spot in your smoker, put this there. Let that fat render down. It's going to become tallow, so an oil. Strain it. It takes a couple of hours. If you have a few pieces that have meat on it, don't worry about it. It's all good. But this will render down and make an amazing tallow that you can use, which I use. One of the tricks I use for my briskets, I actually make infused tallow. So this will get some salt, and it will get some whole garlic cloves and a little bit of rosemary, because rosemary is extremely strong, especially when you let it render down with everything else, and you don't want your briskets or your beefs tasting fully like too earthy with the rosemary. So, little fun tip, this guy's gonna go right inside into the main smoke chamber as the temperature comes up and builds. I'm gonna let all that oil filter down, and I'm gonna strain it throughout the process. Best way to strain is through a cheesecloth or double layer of brownie paper towels. Shout out Brownie. And it'll help catch all the little filters and weird little pieces and what have you. So, yeah, good little tip. Hope it helps you guys. I'm gonna toss this on there. All right. Time to start this bit, yeah? This is oily, fatty butcher paper. So hang on to it. I mean it. Like when you guys do cooks, save a little bit of it, let it dry out. This is how I'm gonna start my fires. This is how I start 95% of my fires. This is how I start 100% of my fires on a brand new smoker. I don't know, something about that smell, that aroma, that just sets it off. And then we're using very thin pieces of wood, thin splits, yeah? This was a quarter split that I split up in a ton of fine kindling pieces just to get things going. So, and we're going to stack it up in a particular way. I'm going to show you guys that as well. I get a lot of questions about fire management, so I sort of want to show you literally what I do for every single fire, especially the big important ones like the first true burns. Like I said, this hasn't had a full burn. I did a light seasoning last night into this morning. But this is what be the first full burn that brings it way up to temperature, like 350 to 425 degrees. and I do season the outside of my smokers. This is a heat resistant paint. It's I think it's a Krylon black heat resistant paint. But the reason why I season the outside as well is the same reason you season the outside of a cast iron skillet. That's all these are, giant cast iron skillets. So I don't want it to rust. I want to make sure it runs smooth. Best compliment I ever got were the builders uh, came here last night and they saw Penny and they're like, we know you cook on her, but she looks brand new. I was like, yeah, it's because I season inside and out, you know? So enough chatting, let's get some fire rolling. Reposition you guys, yeah? There you go. Shout out to you guys on YouTube. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. How do you find wood vendors? I don't know. I should probably find one. Right now, I'm still doing it my way. I go out and I source my own wood. I split my own wood. I'm sure you can Google, like in your local area, or if there's a barbecue joint in your place, in your area, ask them who they use. I just prefer this because it allows me to have as much control because your wood is your fuel, right? And you may not always get fully dried wood like this. I know this is dry because I did it myself, right? So it's things like that. I source. One of my still biggest sources is a guy I met at Home Depot one day. He heard me over talking about my barbecue business. He said he had 10 acres of hickory. It's mine whenever I want it. Just bring him a slab of ribs, and that's still been one of my best sources. So yeah. Okay. Little tiny quick light bits here. It's about lined up right. Two odds and ends. This is why I save bark. I love bark. Some don't. I'm not 100% sure why, but I really do love bark, especially when I'm trying to get a quick catch. And always turn it over whatever side is more fibrous. And we're just wanting to get something caught here and we can build a fire as we go. So it's just perfect. The drier the better. Little opening up top so I've got some room for my air to come out. I want that flame. There we go. There we are. Yep, that is butcher paper from a previous cook. I just always save them. It comes in great. If not, you can always get yourself like these quick condensed cube sticks or what have you, you know. But got the butcher paper, might as well save it, right? And then it just smells better. So we've got this running. We're gonna have this fired up. Get up to top. I'm gonna bring it to 350. Let it ride there. 400. Let it ride there. 450 to finish it out, and then let it die down. But yeah, that's sort of how it goes. It's a little bit of a process, but it is 100% worth it. I guarantee you that much. this is wanted to share with you guys. You know, you don't really get to do a ton of new seasonings a lot, so share that process. Any questions on it at all? Fire management, why I did what does what, anything else you guys want to see? That I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. Yes. What do I season the outside with? Same as the interior. I've got leftover beef tallow that I'll use, or you can use. If you don't have tallow, you can use grapeseed oil or linseed oil, and those are high smoke temperatures. I believe grapeseed oil is a smoke temperature of 500 degrees, so I'm not pushing it there, so I don't have to really worry about it. And I coat the outside, and if it rains or if it gets too humid or whatever, I don't want this rusting. I know the paint will slowly fade, but by keeping it seasoned and coated like that, it's going to last and look brand new for so much longer. Yes, I do refrigerate it. I let it fully cool down. I don't put it in the fridge while it's still transparent. When it goes opaque, that's when you know you can toss it in the fridge. And you see the flip over real quick and see the fires coming up doing this thing. Slow build, man. Slow build. No rushing here. And I still have the gates and everything open on the main chamber. Right now I'm just trying to let the air and smoke move through everything. But yeah, let's see. You could, I would just say, if you can help it, go get yourself some avocado or grapeseed before you use vegetable. I'm just saying. It's just worth it. It's worth it. That smoke's coming through. It's doing its thing. Just pop open our baffles here. We want it all open. We want everything going through it. Everything to get warm and up the top. Beef tallows on, or beef brisket fat bits are on. They're going to get turned into tallow. And as this flame builds up and builds up, I will go ahead and slowly start shutting down the doors, really getting it raging. I'm just trying to watch and learn as well how everything moves through. The wind is working on my favor right now, so it's just shooting straight into the firebox. And I get to see the airflow. I get to see where my smoke is coming through, what parts pool in certain areas, how does it flow around. Little things like that will save you a ton of time and come in handy down the road. Trust me. But yeah, ripping and running. No boosters or fire starters, just a sheet of butcher paper and some fresh air and some cut down splits, and just get it roaring. Just listen to that. If you guys can see there on YouTube, if you guys aren't already, check out my YouTube. You know, it's Rasheed Phillips. Everything's Rasheed Phillips. So YouTube guys, you guys got a clear shot of what's happening. Good info. I've got a Weber somewhere. I couldn't tell you last time I used it, but I've got one. Let me see here. What are the benefits of a vertical versus traditional smoker? Good question. It's really up to you, to be honest. One of the basic benefits that we all know, heat rises. So your heat, you're going to use a lot less fuel. Whatever you're going to be cooking is going to move and cook a lot faster. That's why I went ahead and had the warmer box with a baffle so that I can convert the warmer box into a vertical smoker, right? I personally like reverse flow. It gives you the heat and smoke a lot more room to travel. This isn't a direct, this is a reverse, which means show you guys what that means. That means my firebox is here, and it means that my smokestacks are on the exact same side of where my firebox is. Because the smoke is going to roll. You guys can see the bathroom opening right here. All he's going to roll through there, underneath, back under, up, over, and through the chimney. I've got a good idea of how things down this main chamber. And really big tip, I want to make sure I emphasize this a lot. Get a smoker and you're seasoning it with your oil, right? Do not season this. Do not put oil on your gaskets. It weakens them, makes them really, really bad. So don't put oil on these. Leave that oil. Alright, let's shut this down. Seals. Boom. Starts rolling up there. Oh, fire's firing. There we go. What temp do you try to keep brisket at? I don't like, while cooking, well, I don't try to keep the brisket at any temp because if I keep it at one temperature, it's not gonna cook. I try to keep my smoker about 250 to 260, but I want that brisket raising progressively throughout the entire cook. Also, letting it come up to room temp a little bit before you put on your smoker will help. It'll also help not drop the internal temperature of your smoker immediately by putting a ton of cold meat on there. Do you prefer wood or pellets? Obviously, I don't know if that's a real question or not. I've got nothing but wood smokers. That fire roll. Can you overcook the tallow, or does the filter process take care of that? The filter process takes care of it, but you also want to watch it. You don't want it to burn. You want to keep it at a pretty sweet spot. Keep it roughly simmering, if you would, not a full boil down. And you'd have to really just leave it going and not pay attention for that to happen. You know, it takes a long time to get that oil and fat rendered out. So you're good. And definitely make sure you do it outside because it can get smoky, which is why I do it inside the main chamber in my firebox, because that adds in more flavor. Because like I said, I'm adding in that garlic, a little bit of rosemary throughout the whole process. Loving this. This is my happy place, guys. Play with fire, getting that nice first good burn on. Yeah. When am I coming to Argentina? I would love to get back over there, man. I really would. Yes, please check out the YouTube. Rashid Phillips. You punch it into YouTube, I pop up. Do what you love. Yes, box, definitely. Good info. How long do you let your wood dry before using it? 6 to 8 months, just depending. Wood is definitely going to dry faster in spring and summer than it would in winter, but I get a lot more collection of wood done in the winter. So usually by the next cook season, it's ready to go. Is it still hot? I hope I didn't get my phone too hot. This phone is so sensitive to the heat, man. Let's see. Benefits of vertical smoker, went over that. Ever mix charcoal and wood? In like the master build, I will, but in my rig, no. I may use lump coal to just jumpstart. Like for Pearl is my 500 gallon. It takes a lot to get going, so I sometimes use lump coal just to get the temperature where I need it, and then I finish the cooks off with wood. There it is. Okay. Let me back away from here so that it doesn't overheat on me. It's not. I can barely feel the heat. I just think it's time for a new phone, to be perfectly honest with you. But yeah, that's the firebox. I'm gonna give these guys on YouTube a tour because I haven't yet. So that's the main cook chamber. That's the warmer. Fire basket or wood basket. Santa Maria. I'm gonna have so much fun on the Santa Maria. These beefy Batmobile looking tires. Stainless steel shelf. 3 probe set. Got my temp gauges. Baffle set. And we're back. There we go. Screw it right there. Yep. It says poor connection. I don't know what's going on. If you guys can still hear me, I hope you've enjoyed this process of it. This should be like an ASMR channel itself, like that wood crackling sound. So now I'm gonna go ahead and close off. Let me see if I can just get off Wi-Fi. That's better. There we are. So, guys on YouTube, much appreciated. But yeah, we've got fires rumbling, everything's coming down. The only thing that I'm going to do different or add to this firebox is I'm going to get an expanded metal 2-layer woven to put on top so I can catch those baby coals, because this is a little bit too big of gaps for me. When you say season, is it just from smoke/heat, the tallow in the main area, or do you add some to the firebox? So by season, it's just like what you would do with a cast iron pan, getting it nice and smooth, getting it ready to cook on. I season with beef tallow, rubbed on the grates, rubbed on the walls, rub the entire interior of your smoker, and I do the exterior. And I actually rub the exterior while it's cool, and as the smoker gets warmer, it'll absorb in those pores in the heat, suck that oil in so it gets a nice shiny coat, and it doesn't rust. Like if I wanted to, I can leave this uncovered because I properly seasoned the exterior, and no rust is going to happen, but I'm going to cover it. Liam, you can. The Shirley's actually shipped to the UK. There's a few Shirley's in the UK. I know they've got a few units in Dubai and Saudi Arabia and whatnot. There's a whole lot. But yeah, this fire is doing its thing, and you guys saw the little amounts of wood that we use. Let's close it up and see exactly what temperature we get. I'm going to leave it fully open. Let that airflow just shoot right through there. And coming out at the top, and even on a fresh smoker, I always run a clean fire. You can't even tell that thing's on. That's how your smoke stack should look when you're running a proper fire. No huge puffs of white smoke, no. Very fine, very thin. That's just my take on it, just saying. Do you season regularly after you've used it? If so, how often? Good question. I season as needed, maybe once a month, just depending on the frequency of use, how often I'm cooking on them. I do burnouts once a week. So a burnout is all that creosote and stuff that builds up, scrape all that off, just light the firebox up and just get the smoker ripping and running to loosen everything up, scraping that stuff off, all that gunk, and getting it all cleaned out, any extra grease that's left, pulling it through the grease trap, and done. But I hope that answers your question. Looks like a nice quality unit. Kobe, thank you. Yeah, I designed it. I'll have to do a post showing the original design that I drew up, and every single feature for that design is in there, from the dampers to the grease drain, to the fold-down shelves, to the inverted firebox that is also going to double as a wood fire pizza oven. Yeah. It's all, Ross, you just got to give it a shot, brother. You just got to give it a shot, you know. I didn't start with this setup, you know, you grow into it, but you got to give it a try. Your skills will grow the more effort and practice you get. Hey, what's up, Meter? How you guys doing? If you guys haven't already, go comment your favorite protein on my last post. Meter was dope enough to send me some hilarious "We Miss You" cards, and they sent me some stuff, and I don't even think I have enough butts to use all those probes, so I'm gonna give one away to you guys. So let's drop a comment of your favorite protein on my last post. I'm gonna pick one today and DM you and you just give me your address and I ship it out completely free to you. Shout out from East Texas. That's what's up, Nash. Hey, from Japan. Wow. Holy cow. Yo, Scott, how you doing, bro? Your man Richard come to hang out with me on Saturday. I just got a Pit Boss pellet smoker. Right on. Hello from Louisiana. Miss Louisiana, I was just there. This time last week, I was over in Baton Rouge. You ever switch up your wood variety to pair with different proteins? Right now, I'm playing around with pecan because I was able to get my hands on a fair amount of pecan. So going through that, but I typically bounce between hickory and pecan. I can't wait to go to Texas because I'm bringing back a U-Haul truck load of mesquite. Definitely trying to get in as much mesquite as I can because I can't get it here. So that, and I've used some peach for some special stuff. I've got a 5-gallon bucket of olive wood that I've been like weaning off slowly, piece by piece, because it's so expensive and hard to grab. How do you find the PK? They're really low to the ground, and something about having your baffle system underneath just is not safe for me. Underneath all that fire, they're not bad systems at all. They're good little pick up and go stuff. It's just odd little design works for me. I don't know. It's weird. I'm looking at the Primo XL grill. What is your thoughts? I say get whatever grill is in your wheelhouse, your budget, and your skill set. But also keep in mind that you're going to get better and you may want to grow. That's all I can really suggest. Man, I gotta see you. It's just a lot of practice, brother. Do you find you learn new things every day? So, always. No cook is the exact same. No cook is the same. Like I said, today is really working for me because the wind is shooting straight through the funnel of my home. So it's shooting right into the firebox. So the flame is going, it's pushing, it's getting there much faster than if I'd had this set different. I'll give you guys an update on the fire there. There we go. And I'll show you guys what I mean by the grate. So you see the grates are a bit wide, so a lot of pieces are going to fall down here in a bit. And I like putting expanded metal on here. So the one thing I do to every single smoker, no matter what, is I put expanded metal in cross hatches so that I keep those baby coals and retain more heat. So now I'm going to switch this around. Right? This is how I work my fires. And back parallel so that the heat is shooting straight through and up. Another split there. Not just a little extra. Another split on top. Close it off. Should be good to go. So once this gets fully seasoned up, I'm going to toss a bunch of butts on here. I'm going to toss some whole birds because that's just what I do on new cooks. The fattier the meat, the better. So on all my smokers, the very first cook is as fatty as I can possibly get it. So I'm gonna load this thing all the way down. I'm gonna load the warmer box. I'm gonna load the main chamber, just fully pack it up with fatty proteins. Let that grease pop, let it get everywhere, let it adhere to the sides, let that smoke flavor get to it. Just, yeah. Luxembourg, nice. Hey, Candace, how you doing? Good afternoon. Mrs. Brown, how you doing? Alexander, what's going on? Yeah, we got some little peak here. Let's flip this over. Good. that air is pulling through. Everything's doing what it should do. I'm gonna go and prep the butts, get them scored up, get them rubbed and ready, and then wait a good while, maybe an hour or two before I put them on here, and then put them on and just let them go. Do some burgers or maybe some wings for the Santa Maria a little bit later as well, just to get that nicely seasoned. But yeah, I'm loving it. Definitely loving it. Everything's pulling and working. Temps are moving right along. Evenly across the board, so that is also good. Start to feel the body on the smoke. It's gonna tighten up. It's gonna be a good day. Real good day for a cook today. Real good day for a cook. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and keep you guys posted throughout the process. If you have any questions, shoot me a DM. I'm going to be able to get to my DM today because I'm just working on smoking and getting this seasoned out. So I'll be able to get those knocked out. But yeah, take care, guys, and thanks for hanging out. Cheers. Oh no. Sorry, it fell, but how do I do this whole thing here? Not good with the technology, it's kind of weird. But thank you guys for hanging out. Smoker's running. Haven't named her yet. I'll figure that out today. I'll be doing little posts and little updates throughout this process, but it's running very, very well. It's slowly getting up to temp. I'm getting it for about 350 degrees and let it ride there for about an hour, hour and a half, then pump it up to 4. Let it slowly come down to 250, and that's when I'll put my proteins on and start to cook. Fatty meats, chicken, pork butt, just get all that grease and juice and everything everywhere. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully some of this was useful for you guys, and thanks so much. Cheers.